If you register a business in the Netherlands, one of your obligations is the VAT administration. The value added tax, VAT, also known as sales tax, is the tax you collect from your customers on behalf of the government. You collect this VAT from your customers, you deduct the VAT you pay to your suppliers, and the difference you remit it to the tax authority during the quarterly VAT returns. However, you can be exempted from the administration of value added tax. And that is what we'll be discussing in this video. If you're just stopping by for the first time, my name is Goodness Abara. I am a bookkeeper here in the Netherlands, supporting self-employed persons with their accounting so that they can run their business with excitement and confidence, knowing that their accounting and tax is taken care of. In this video, we will be going through the Small Business Scheme, KOR. What is KOR? How do you apply for it? How do you invoice when you are under the KOR regime? Who can apply for the KOR? What are the advantages and disadvantages? Bookkeeping requirements when you are under the KOR regime. What do you do the moment you hit the threshold of 20,000 per annum? What happens if you mistakenly collected VAT from your customers while participating in the VAT exemption? Let's get to it. What is KOR? KOR is the Dutch acronym for Kleineondernemersregeling. The Dutch tax authority introduced the KOR regime to support small businesses whose turnover is less than 20,000 in a year. And this means that you are exempted from VAT administration. You are not required to charge VAT and collect VAT from your customers, and you are not required to make quarterly VAT returns. How can you apply for the KOR exemption? You can apply for the KOR regime by downloading a form and filling it out, submit it back to the tax authority. Or you can apply for it by filling out this form by logging on to your profile at the belastingdienst.nl, navigate to the Omzet Belasting. There you can apply for the KOR exemption. It is super easy and straightforward. When you apply for the KOR exemption, you have to wait for the tax authority to reply you in writing. On this letter, they will tell you that you have been approved, yes or no. If you have been approved, they will let you know from what date your exemption commences. You are to continue to make the VAT returns until the date of the commencement. Note, for instance, if the tax authority says to you that your exemption is starting on the 1st of April, it means that you still need to do your VAT returns for Q1 of 2025. And in April, you will do your VAT returns for January, February, March. Then starting from April 1, you stop adding VAT on your invoice and you stop collecting VAT from your customers. That is why you need to read the letter that the tax authority sent to you and adhere to the timeline that is stipulated on the letter. Invoicing under the KOR regime. Now you are exempted from VAT returns. How do you invoice and how do you indicate this in your invoice? One of the requirements on your invoice is to indicate the VAT rate for the service or goods you are selling. But under the KOR regime, you are not required to indicate any VAT rate. In place of that, you are to indicate that sale is exempt from VAT under Article 25 of the Sales Tax Act. You indicate this clearly on your invoice to indicate that you are exempted VAT administration. I see people make the mistake of indicating VAT 0%. This is wrong. Do not indicate VAT 0% on your invoice. Who can apply for the KOR exemption? Any business owner can apply for the KOR exemption. Self-employed, partnership, foundation, or even BV. as long as your turnover is less than 20,000 per annum, you can apply. Advantages and disadvantages of the KOR exemption. The major advantages for being under the KOR exemption is simply that you no longer have to bother about making VAT returns on a quarterly basis. So that administration is removed off your shoulder. On the other hand, it has the disadvantage that you cannot claim back VAT amount you pay to your suppliers. If you made a purchase of 2,000 euros, for instance, and there is a VAT of 21% on it, ordinarily you will claim that back during your VAT returns. But when you are under the KOR regime, you cannot claim that VAT back because you are exempted from VAT administration. That is one of the disadvantages of the KOR regime. So before you apply for the KOR regime, you want to weigh it and be sure that it's really worth it for your business. What type of bookkeeping are you required to keep? Every business owner is legally required to maintain bookkeeping system. It doesn't matter if you are under the KOR regime. You have to maintain records of your business transactions. And the best way to do this is leveraging accounting software. I recommend eBookholding or Moneybird. You can find links to this accounting software in the description of this video. With accounting software, you capture all your business transactions, upload all the supporting documents. That way, it is easy for you during the annual income tax returns. You have all your data in one place, and it is very easy to access to run your year-end financial statement and to do your tax returns. What to do when your turnover reaches the 20K mark? So I did say that the KOR regime is for those whose annual turnover is less than 20K. But what happens if in October you discover that your turnover is going to reach the 20K mark? Then it's your responsibility to notify the tax authority and deregister yourself from the KOR regime. Again, you can do this by logging onto the website of the belastingdienst.nl, navigate to the KOR, and there you can deregister yourself. You wait to receive a letter from the tax authority, and then you can start making tax returns again. Note that it is your duty to follow up and ensure that your VAT administration portal is opened for you to start making your VAT returns again. What if you mistakenly applied VAT on your invoices during the time that you are under the VAT regime? Well, this is a mistake that occurs in practice. And the law is that the VAT collected from your customers is not part of your money. If you have mistakenly collected VAT from your customers, then you have to remit it to the tax authority, unless you issue a credit note to your customer and refund that. Else, the VAT belongs to the tax authority. You have to remit that VAT to the tax authority. Do not fall into the temptation of keeping that excess money back, thinking that it is an extra income. No, that amount collected does not belong to you. It belongs to the tax authority. So, if you're watching this video, chances are that you are contemplating whether the KOR regime is for you or not for you. I hope that I have given you sufficient information to decide whether to go ahead for the KOR regime or not to go ahead for it. Personally, when my business was much smaller, I never subscribed to the KOR regime. But a lot of people find it easier just not to bother about the VAT administration, and they go for the KOR regime. My reason for not subscribing at the time is I still need to do my bookkeeping anyway, so why don't I just take advantage of also deducting VAT payments that I pay for my expenses? So I did not see the KOR regime very valuable for my kind of business, and that is why I didn't go for the KOR regime, even though my turnover was below 20,000. But for some other people, they like the convenience of not doing quarterly VAT returns, and so they prioritize that and they apply for the KOR regime. It is up to you to choose what works for you. It's easy to apply for, go for it, and if you need help, in the description of this video, you will find additional resources to support you on your journey as a self-employed business owner in the Netherlands. And if you have more questions or you have a topic you would like me to address in my video, please leave it in the comment sections. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you again in my next video. Take care.